Hi, I'm Selah, and you're watching C'est La Vie with Selah V. Today's guest has been in the fitness industry for over 30 years, 38 to be exact. He is the former Mr. America, former Mr. Universe, Mr. California. There is not a single title this guy has not received. Please welcome my personal mentor, Doug Brignole.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here, Selah.
Thank you for coming.
I have not won Mr. Olympia.
Ah, that's right.
So there is one.
There is one. Okay, one. But I bet you're still attempting to win it.
I am competing in the World Championship next year.
Great. Yeah, so tell us about what are your favorite exercises in the gym, or what do you do to prepare for a competition like that?
Well, I want to make it clear first that my focus is mostly a bodybuilding type of workout, which is really very much like a fitness workout, because fitness, in my view, is all about losing body fat, strengthening your muscles, looking good, feeling good, improving your health. There's another kind of fitness that's kind of the craze right now, which is called functional fitness. Mm-hmm. And I just want to make it clear that it isn't bad, but it's specialized, which means that if your goal is not to get better at certain particular events, you're not going to get as visible a result from that as you would from a more of a bodybuilding type of workout.
So would you say you focus more on the major muscle groups instead of doing kind of like on a ball or a BOSU or something like that?
Yeah, well, I do what would be considered mechanically efficient exercise. So I'm actually writing a book right now called The Physics of Fitness, where I explain the physics, the mechanical physics of the levers of our body and how they interact with resistance, so that you can choose the exercises that give you the most bang for the buck. Because a lot of exercises, for example, hanging leg raise is a great example of an exercise that has a lot of requirement for energy, but not a lot of return on your investment of that energy.
Right. And Doug also writes for Ironman Magazine. And tell us some of the things that you write about. For example, he'll tell you if an exercise is ineffective or can actually cause injury. So
well, you know, biomechanics is the combination of understanding the anatomy and what it does and doesn't do or shouldn't do, combined with physics, which is just understanding levers and what they call resistance curves and where an exercise is harder or easier and things like that. And I'll give you just one example. A lever, a forearm, any kind of lever will always meet maximum resistance when it crosses gravity. But if you're doing like a bench dip and you're doing it for your triceps, your forearms never cross gravity. Mm-hmm. So it's not a very efficient tricep exercise, and yet it's still hard to do. So that's the kind of stuff that I focus on, is finding, mechanically speaking, which exercises work the best and why waste energy on the ones that don't.
Absolutely. Now, Doug obviously looks amazing, and he's still competing after so many years. So tell us some about your diet and what your daily routine is to keep this body.
Well, I'm in the off season, and the off season basically means for a bodybuilder that it's the period of time that doesn't include the last 3 weeks of dieting when you're really trying to get that body fat down. So my goal right now, diet-wise, is to eat enough calories to gain muscle, and enough types of calories, meaning carbohydrates and proteins, that will maximize muscle gain, but not necessarily cause fat loss.
Okay.
So I'm at a point right now where you might look at me and say, well, you seem plenty lean to me, but I'm, by bodybuilding standards, considered fat. Or the term would be called smooth. Right.
But then, so when you compete, what are some of the things that you have to change in your diet in order to get to that lean?
Well, in the off season, and I should tell you up front that I've got very healthy eating habits.
Right.
So I don't have tendencies to eat bad that I have to resist by way of willpower. I just prefer to eat good, wholesome food. That's what I eat in the off season. When it comes down to contest time, it's a balancing act, because carbohydrate, meaning starches, potatoes, rice, fruit, things like that.
Grains, anything.
Those things make the body produce a little bit more insulin. And when we do that, a couple of things happen. If you're not exercising, it makes you fat.
Right.
If you are exercising, it pushes protein into the muscle and makes the muscle bigger. But when you're trying to lose weight, you have to cut back on your carbohydrate. So that's where the balancing act begins, is because while you're trying to cut back the fat, you're also cutting out the things that help keep the muscle big.
Right.
So
and I think it should be said, I've never seen this man touch a cookie or a sweet in my life. And I've known him over 10 years.
She just wasn't there.
Maybe I wasn't there. Maybe
like
this is at night. No, but clearly you're doing, you're very
I don't crave cookies.
Right.
In fact, if I could have a meal,
yeah, what's your favorite cheat meal?
If I could have a meal, it's the typical Thanksgiving Day dinner.
Ah, I love it.
Mashed potatoes, stuffing, gravy, tons of gravy.
So do you make this Thanksgiving meal more than once a year? No?
Well, actually,
or do you have it more than once?
Actually, I do.
Do you really?
I do, actually. It is kind of a feast any time of the year.
Okay.
It just happens to be that I don't crave it all the time. If you had it right here in front of me, I would devour it.
Right.
But I don't crave it all the time, and I eat, for the most part, relatively low fat, relatively processed food free.
Yep.
And I'm fine with that. I don't miss that. Now, one day a week, I might have a little ice cream or maybe a little pizza, but one day a week's not going to hurt anybody's program.
No. So do you believe in like the cheat meal, one
Sure,
meal
absolutely.
a week? Okay.
Absolutely.
In order to keep you on track every
And
other
keep you
day.
sane.
Yeah, keep you and social and everything
Right.
like
And if
that.
something happens on a Tuesday, it's a birthday party or something like
Yeah.
that, then all I'll do on a Tuesday is just simply replace the Sunday.
Right, exactly.
And I won't do it
The
Sunday.
cheat meal.
Or if there's nothing coming up, then I'll have two days that week.
Right. So is there something, or is there ever a time where you don't feel at all like working out or like not doing what you should be doing?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I never feel like working out.
Really?
Which means that, like, if you ask me right now, do you feel like picking up those weights over there? I'd say no. I feel like sitting down and talking. But I do it because I know I need to do it. And once I start, I get into it.
See, and that is to me a very important lesson to a lot of our
Yeah.
viewers because, everyone always asks me that.
Sure.
Don't you feel like you must want to work out all day, every day? And no, the truth is I have to motivate myself and get myself.
It's part of the plan. It's part of the
Exactly.
routine.
Yeah.
And so once you start light, you warm up. Pretty soon, 5-10 minutes into it, you're raring to go and you're feeling good and you
Yes.
keep going.
I always say 90%
Yeah.
is just getting there.
But it's
right?
not. It's a mistaken idea to think that people like us just feel like working out all the time.
all
We
the time.
really
Yeah,
don't.
we have to self-motivate too.
It's part of the plan. It's part of the routine.
Even trainers need trainers sometimes. I always
Absolutely.
say, hey, you motivate me all the time, so
Well, you don't need it.
Well, no,
Yeah.
and so I know that you don't really have a sinful recipe that I can healthify, but I will put on the website a healthy Thanksgiving meal for you to check
be there
out.
picking that
An
up.
alternative. Yeah, exactly. And is there any other cheat thing that I can healthify for you, or
You can
pretty much
healthify.
that's
Well,
it?
I'll be honest with you. I am not a chef.
Okay.
So, like, if you want to make like meatloaf for me,
I have an awesome
and
healthy
you want
meatloaf recipe.
because
That's
I don't
what
know
we'll
the
do.
ingredients in meatloaf.
Okay, perfect.
But,
That's what I'll do.
There you go.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Doug, and thank you all for joining us today. And please be sure to check out Doug's playlist for the Selah V workout on our website and the healthy Thanksgiving meal with the healthy meatloaf too. And thank you so much again, Doug, for being here.
It's
so
my
great
pleasure.
to see you.
It's great to see you too.
Thank you.
All
And
right.
thanks for joining us.